Ladies and gentlemen, shalom to everybody in the chat. Starting tomorrow, you'll be able to get the hair growth shampoo, hair growth pomade, and rice and aloe leave in condition. If you buy this as one bundle, you get 40% off. So it begins on June 3rd and ends on the 7th. So, everybody, we are going to talk about Donald Trump finally admitting that Iran was a mistake, but we all know he did it for Israel. He didn't have a legitimate reason for going after Iran. They did not do anything to the United States. It doesn't matter whether you agree with the country or not. If they have not physically harmed anybody from America, then you should not have done anything. And this is the biggest reason why you can't defeat them. You can't defeat them because you know what? The Most High is controlling all sides. And he is the one making sure that Iran defeat both Israel and the United States. And the fact that you went after somebody that was not bothering you, that was just to show the world how wicked you really truly are. You are ready to shed someone's blood that did absolutely nothing to you. That is pure wickedness. That's what it is. And that's the big reason why you're never going to defeat them. Israel and the United States can go after Iran for the next 20 years. And for the next 20 years, they're going to get their asses kicked. So, look, y'all, he's now admitting it. It's sort of like a day late and a buck short. You are way too late on this one, Donald Trump. Now you are backed in a corner. You're going to either have to come out swinging or surrender. Your options are really not good, no matter how you look at it. But we all knew this war was coming in the final days. We knew this was going to happen. All of us that been following the Most High, we already knew this was in the Bible. You know, it was going to be wars and rumors of wars. Well, here's a war. And the bottom line is America, right now, I think even if you went after Bangladesh, I think they would literally be able to kick your ass at this point. So it's a lot of money wasted. It has taken a terrible toll on everybody financially in this country. And I guess to add insult to injury, he doesn't care how bad people are hurting financially from the increase. And it's going to be, now that the talks have been called off completely, the oil has already gone up, y'all. The oil has already gone up, which means the gas is going to be going up. It's going to be going through the roof once again. And how much longer people are going to be able to take this, I don't know. But I can see how angry everybody is online. And this, in most part, is going to be another reason why nobody's going to show up for Donald Trump's 250-year anniversary of America celebration. It ain't going to be much of a celebration because people are angry as hell right now. And to add insult to injury, y'all know the entertainers have, for the most part, canceled. Well, Donald Trump is so mad, he's getting ready to fire everybody that was involved with the entertainment. He's going to do a mass firing of those people. And I said, that's all he does. He doesn't do no job creation. He just fires people. That's all he seems to be stuck on. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Was in a lose-lose situation from the beginning when it came to this war in Iran, and it largely has to do with the expectations of the American people. Now, just to be clear, before the blockade and the ceasefire, the US military showed incredible tactical skill, once again reinforcing that it is the preeminent power in the world. But that has not translated into political or strategic victory, and this gets to the bigger problem of how Americans think about war. In the United States, people do not usually define winning as just being better on the battlefield. Americans tend to think winning means decisive success. It means crushing the enemy so it can no longer impact its region and toppling the regime, as well as replacing it with something friendly, preferably democratic. All of those things. It's not or, it's all of those things. Those are the expectations. Part of that expectation comes from the fact that we are told by both parties that we have enormous power here in the United States. So people expect massive and decisive results. But part of it also comes from the belief that war should have a moral purpose. This model dates back to our success in World War II. It was a total defeat of the enemy, leading to regime change, creating a friendly country with moral clarity and a clear end state. The problem is, most wars do not look like that, even when it comes to the United States. You look at Korea, you look at Vietnam, hell, even Gulf War I, US forces absolutely obliterated.
Shouldn't have been there in the first place, by the way. And shouldn't have been in Iran. Shouldn't have been there in the first place, by the way. And shouldn't have been in Iran. But Iran has the capability. If we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers 9 months ago, they would have a nuclear weapon right now. And it would be a whole different story. Probably would have used it. You probably wouldn't have had you wouldn't have had Israel, but you probably wouldn't have had a Middle East. And then where do they go from there? Their military, we sort of left it alone.
Wait, did you hear that? Keep listening.
We've actually left their military alone. People would be surprised to hear that because mistakes have been made in wars where you wipe out everybody. And
so after telling us that you took out all of their military, you're now telling us you left them alone? Listen to that again.
If you left the Iranian military alone, what the hell was this all for, Donald? Donald Trump got on Fox News being interviewed by his daughter-in-law and said people would actually be surprised that we've largely left the Iranian military alone. After weeks of AI slop, AI bullshit, really, saying that the Iranian military has been completely decimated and destroyed. Well, we all knew that wasn't the case because of what we've seen every single day. Iran has been able to maintain strikes on US targets as well as other targets in the Mideast region. So we knew Trump was lying this entire time, but what made him tell the truth to his daughter-in-law, but nobody else? And honestly, I'm more concerned he actually told the truth. Are the meds kicking in? Did you change the meds? What's going on? But again, what the hell is all of this for? I know it's about ego. I know it's about power. I know it's about money. I know it's about market manipulation. But is it really about Iran obtaining a nuclear weapon? No, they've been on the verge of obtaining one, since I was a child, really. So again, this is all bullshit.
You could make the case that maybe we shouldn't even be there at all because we don't need it. That was Donald Trump aboard Air Force One. And as of this recording, 13 Americans have been killed in Donald Trump's fake Iran war. He started it in late February, and he's repeatedly called it one complete, total decimation. And then over the weekend, aboard Air Force One with reporters all around him, he said this.
You could make the case that maybe we shouldn't even be there at all because we don't need it. We have a lot of oil. We were the #1 producer anywhere in the world times 2. By double, at least double. Now I think it's much higher than that. But we do it. It's almost like we do it for habit.
For habit. While explaining why other countries need to send their ships, he said maybe we shouldn't even be in Iran at all. His actual argument was that we have our own oil. It's their energy, not ours. We do this out of habit, and it's for some good allies. Quote, it's almost like we do it for habit. Donald Trump started a war for oil out of habit. 13 soldiers are dead for a habit. 1,000 Iranians are dead for a habit. Gas is over $4 a gallon for a habit. It's fantastic. And just so we're clear here, the habit that he's talking about is the United States maintaining stability in the world's most critical oil corridor for the benefit of our allies in the global economy. Except we do it through war. War for oil. That's our habit. That's what America's proud of. And that's how we've tried to keep oil prices reasonable and gas under $3. It's disgusting. The global supply chain functional because we go to war. Donald Trump's habit was going to war in late February. He blew up the corridor, and now he's asking why other people aren't fixing it for him. And you know what? The mainstream media, they're scared to cover this. They really are. And we, the independent media, we need your help to keep these stories alive. Do me a favor, hit subscribe, hit the notification icon, drop a comment, and again, do the same for any of the independent media that you're following, because all of it helps. Donald Trump's habit, Donald Trump's war, is all because of rising gas prices and plunging poll numbers. Trump is increasingly desperate to get other countries in to help secure the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has effectively closed to tanker traffic. He's asked for help from China, France, Japan, South Korea, and the UK, and not one of them said yes. Germany's defense minister asked what a handful of European frigates is supposed to do to accomplish what the most powerful navy on earth cannot. Japan hasn't decided anything. Australia has no plans to join. So Donald Trump is out here workshopping out loud whether this war was even worth it, because he's talking about his poll numbers, while the families of 13 dead service members are watching the president muse about it on Air Force One. And by the way, the countries he's begging for help, these are the same countries he spent 2 years threatening with tariffs, the same allies that he's called freeloaders. He's insulted at summits. He's threatened to pull NATO protection from unless they've paid up. He has burned every single diplomatic bridge that he's had with these people before the war even started. And now he is demanding that they send their warships, demanding from his airplane in front of the press to people who have every reason to let him stew in his own bullcrap. Good luck, Donald Trump. And here's the part that nobody's even saying loud enough. We still don't know what winning in Iran looks like. End of February, he called it major combat operations. March 7th, pretty well complete. March 9th, it was won. March 12th, Iran was totally decimated. March 14th, he bombed Karg Island and asked China for ships. On the 16th, he says maybe we shouldn't even be there. When is it over, Mr. President? Donald Trump is making it up as he goes along, and he keeps hoping that no one is keeping score. Well, guess what? We're keeping score. The 13 soldiers, their families are keeping score. And frankly, this is probably the most honest thing that Donald Trump has said about this entire fiasco in Iran. He has said he has no idea why he started it. He has no idea how to end it. And now he's standing in the hallway of his plane saying that maybe the entire thing was unnecessary. It was only necessary to cover up the Epstein files. Those 13 families, they get to carry that weight. He gets to land at Andrews Air Force Base. Their families get to bury their loved ones. And he just goes and posts on Truth Social about how the fake news media isn't giving him credit for the war. And he said that he maybe shouldn't have even started it. And while we're talking about why this war even started, there are new polls out. And this has a lot to do with why the war started. Data for Progress polled 1,272 likely voters and found 52% of Americans believe Trump launched Operation Epic Fury, at least in part, to distract from the Epstein files. 52%. That's no longer a conspiracy theory. This is a majority. 81% of Democrats believe it, 52% of independents, and a quarter of his own party. 1 in 4 people that voted for Trump look at Trump and look at the Epstein files, and they say, this is why he went to war. The Epstein files, the searches were up. The war starts 2 weeks later. That tracks. I mean, hell, we're even renaming the war. Everybody on the internet, instead of calling it Operation Epic Fury, it's Operation Epstein Fury. You know, this war has no point other than to boost Donald Trump's popularity, and it's not working. It's not working because you guys see through the crap. We see through the crap. And the families of those that have died for our country, hopefully they see through the crap too, because we shouldn't be losing soldiers like this. We shouldn't be in a war like this with no goals, no authorization, and no money to pay for it. It's absolutely shameful.
You are not going to believe what Trump is saying now. Listen to this shit.
Their military, we sort of left it alone because we think that their military is somewhat moderate. They have other people that aren't moderate. We've taken them out. We've taken different forms of leadership out. We've actually left their military alone. People would be surprised to hear that, because mistakes have been made in wars where you wipe out everybody and then you have a country that's, for 40 years can never rebuild.
Only the MAGAs and those that listen to Fox News and Trump alone will be surprised by this. U.S. intelligence has been saying that Iran's military had not been obliterated, defeated, or anything like that the entire time. Only Trump has been saying this. Remember when he said this on April 11th, that the fake news media is crazy or just plain corrupt? The United States has completely destroyed Iran's military, including their entire Navy and Air Force and everything else. And then just several days ago on May 26th, he said, if Iran surrenders amidst their Navy is gone and resting at the bottom of the sea, and their Air Force is no longer with us, and their entire military walks out of Tehran, weapons dropped and hands held high, he then goes on to say the fake news still won't say that they've lost the war.
Yeah, he was the one all over the media on a regular basis saying that he obliterated their Navy, their Army. There was nothing left. Now he goes on Fox in front of his daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, and says, oh, we left their military alone. Well, it can't be both. You can't obliterate them and then in the next instance you've left them alone. See, this is why nothing in this country will ever get resolved. You got a pathological liar as the president. If he won't tell the truth, then he won't fix the problem. Okay, those two things usually go hand in hand. If the liar won't tell the truth, the liar is never going to fix the problem. And that's the way it's been the entire time. But now this man is admitting he should never have messed with Iran, because he doesn't know how to get out of it now. And you see the talks ain't going nowhere. He don't know how to get out of this mess. He doesn't know how to get out of it now. So y'all leave it up to Esau to get us in a mess. And now he's got a big problem getting out of it, because the country he should be talking to is now refusing to talk to him. And the Straits of Hormuz remains closed. Now, Donald Trump, if we got plenty of oil and we don't have nothing to worry about, why is everybody paying all this inflated prices for gas then? If we got so much gas in the entire world, why are we paying? We should be paying the cheaper price then, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we be paying the cheapest prices on earth because we got plenty of gas? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. This man is such a walking contradiction. It's not even funny. And you can forget about the truth. You are never getting the truth from this man, for real. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Just 1 second here. Douglas Ledger, thank you so much for the super sticker and your support for my channel. I deeply appreciate it. So, y'all, I have one more live coming up today. And this one's going to be on Iran suspending all peace talks with the U.S. So we'll get further into what's going on with that. But I don't anticipate this war ending. I really don't. And if it does, y'all, everything's going to be so beyond repair, such as the economy. You ain't going to bring this back in no 1 year, 2 years, 10 years. America probably will never come back. After this inflation, everything's going to implode. And Donald Trump, you can see he doesn't fix anything. He literally sits there and make things worse. So y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on my next live at 3:45. Shalom, family.